what I'd like to talk about is maybe to go through a procedure that I might use when it comes to injection molding. I'm a big injection molding person. That's what I basically grew up on. But through um, through the purge compound business, I have learned a lot more about extrusion and also blow molding. But what one of the biggest things that a processor should do before they even get started is to clean out the system. Um, right from the beginning, right, from your um, dryer that might be at the press, through your colorant blender that might be at the press. Now, some colorant blenders are put right on top of the hopper. And so you need to make sure that whole system is cleaned out. Clean out your magnet very well if you got a magnet window that's in your hopper. And then once you complete all of those, you're going to shut off the material flow, you're going to shut off the colorant flow, and you're going to purge the barrel out clean. And so this is after you back it off from the, off from the tool naturally. And so then you're going to purge out that, so you're going to purge out your barrel, and then you're going to introduce the purge compound, and whatever one that you want to use. That's typically if you're going to use, for instance, a 400-ounce barrel, you're probably going to use anywhere, that's 25 pounds. So you're going to use anywhere from 25 pounds and if you're going to use double that, for the really bad color changes, black, or if you're really, or if your material is really, a really sticky material, then you might use double that barrel capacity. So you might use up to 50 pounds on that type of changeover. Or you can use also a quick shot and use that with your material. Quick shots are typically, you use 1 ounce per 1 inch of screw diameter. And so being that we make it into the 1 ounce and also the 3 ounce, if you got a screw diameter that's 3 inches or above, you might use 1 or 2 of the quick shots. What a lot of people like to do is that they'll introduce 1 in, maybe 2 right at the beginning, and then they're going to let the material run down a little bit, and then they're going to introduce another one later on, and then come in with their rinse material in behind it, or even their material that they might turn on the colorant to and then come in with that, because colorant in itself, the pigments in the colorant can also help clean out that barrel system a lot quicker too as well. So I recommend using your next material even with the colorant on, so you can try to get that cleaned out a lot quicker. So after you introduce the purge compound, in some cases I'm going to have you might raise the nozzle up, because if you got a mixing nozzle or if you got a ball check, raising the nozzle up anywhere from 25 to 50 degrees will help loosen that material up in those areas, because the Typhoon mixing nozzle actually has dead spots in it where they actually interlock together, and those dead spots, you want to get rid of that material. So then you're gonna, so that way that'll help purge that out. And like I said, if you're gonna run it through the hot runner system, you're also going to raise those up too. And that will help remove that material as well. So what you're going to do is first you're just going to clean the barrel and screw out, and then until the material looks clean. And then you're going to run, make sure that you clean the nozzle off really well. And then you're going to run that into your tool. And then you could introduce some more purge compounds, so you can run it through, if you got to run it through a hot runner system or your valve gates. Make sure your valve gates are full open. This helps out. So the purge compound is getting through all the gates. And then as you're running, if you recognize that there's some gates that aren't getting cleaned out as well, as the other ones, or the flow, the other ones look pretty clean, then you can shut off your the valve gates to the ones that look pretty clean, and then just try to clean out those other valve gates. And then after that, you come in with your next rinse, or your next material, and flush out the whole system and start back up. I like to do a changeover. I like to have from last piece to first piece. If it's on a smaller machine, I like to do that within 10 to 15 minutes. On a larger machine, it might take up to maybe a half hour to get that changed over. I've done them as fast as 13 minutes, depending on the material that you're running and the coloring that they're actually going through. So it can be done, but everything has to be in line. You got to have the people there ready to go. And so when they shut down, you're immediately going right into the changeover, and especially when it comes to color changeover. So material changeovers, I call those maintenance purges. Sometimes they, you can usually do those within usually the same time frame as well. And but it's very important. I can't emphasize enough to make sure that you purge out at the temperature of that material that you're cleaning out before you change the temperature settings. And sometimes people like to raise the back pressure when they go to purge. The only time that I really see that might be necessary, and where I've seen that it's with a benefit, is when it was on a semi-barrier screw. And that otherwise the purge compound isn't in there long enough. I'm a big believer in making sure that the check ring moves often. So if you got it, most people are already running about 25% of their barrel capacity with their shot size. So they're running anywhere from 4 to 5 shots per barrel. And if you're doing that, you're already set up to do that. But I recommend, if you're not, that you set it up to about 25% and make sure that check ring is moving often. If you don't want to change that setting, then just go back a couple inches at a time and then purge through to make sure that check ring is moving.